All right, this is a test presentation, a test live video for the Graduate Research Symposium being hosted on YouTube Live. This is our opportunity to review and see what functionality we have, what the attendees can see, what kind of alerts go out to people, to subscribers. I think I see we have one. And also how the chat works on the side. This is something that will be presented and utilized for the platform presentations only, not the poster presentations. Those will be handled through Zoom, as has been customary in the past. So the challenges here today and things to learn are, one, how do we assign additional speakers? Is that something that needs to be done through being logged in and being a subscriber? Now, on the other hand, is it something that can be as simple as alerting a participant or an attendee that they can speak? How does that work? And so that's going to be another thing that we will determine today. In the meantime, some details for the Graduate Research Symposium coming up. Dates are March 8th through 10th, and 3 days this year instead of the original 5. Last year, we did a 5-day full week presentation. This year, we've condensed it to 3 days. We have added an hour on the end of each day, so instead of being 9 to noon every day, it is now 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. In addition, we're going to have we've moved the 3-minute thesis part of the event. We've moved that to the last day of the symposium. Last year, it was the lead-off event, and it attracted a huge number of attendees. And from there, we saw the interest slowly wane. We think that's our number one event for the symposium this year. So we've moved that to the back half of the event. That will take place at 9 o'clock, first thing Thursday morning. Upon the final 3MT speaker concluding their session, a live voting option will pop up for all of our attendees, and they will be able to vote directly through the Whova app. They won't be able to vote if they're watching on YouTube Live here, and they won't be able to vote if they aren't registered as an attendee. They also won't be able to see their responses in real time. Those are going to be hidden until the awards ceremony, which is happening at noon or 12:30-ish on the same day. Dr. Amanda Bryant-Friedrich will return as the kind of pseudo host. She'll be speaking on both the opening day on Tuesday and also delivering the awards as we close the session on Thursday. A couple of other items to discuss. Thinking of the type of research that's going to be on display. We've broken up each day into themes. Platforms will be handled through various themes that we've identified, such as COVID-19 and related topics, through the various other health topics, sustainability, diversity, equity, inclusion, and a couple of others. Those will be the basis of the platform sessions, and then posters. We're actually breaking those down even more granularly into different concentrations, as much as we can. So if you are here watching, I see a couple people have shown up. Be sure to mention something in the chat so I can make sure that you are here. Again, this is YouTube Live, so I don't know who's here off the top without, there's no list of attendees. I see the Toady Lab is here with some very interesting emoji that looks like it might be I don't know. I don't even want to guess what that is, but um, I think Lucas is giving me a high five or something similar. So that's good to see that there are some attendees here. But I do want to test a couple of features here if you're in attendance. First, I would like to see if it's possible to type words instead of just emojis. That first off. Two, can you provide more than one thumbs up? Like there's a thumbs up count that I have 3. I don't know how the engagements work as they relate to, say, a TikTok live, where you can give them a tons of likes, or even on Amazon Live, you can do the same thing. Those are the two where I have a little bit more experience. Facebook, you can do the same thing. Todd, you are here. You think correctly. I've put the slow mode version thing on. So for those of you who are messaging, I've set it so where you can only send a message every 30 seconds. If you think that's annoying, let me know. I can disable that. Not live. I have to do it beforehand. But it is something that is open to us. So, I don't want to overload us. A couple of things I can do I want to test right now is I do want to do a quick poll. Let me try this right now. I'm just creating a quick poll for you. I want to make sure that everybody can see the poll. I don't know where it's appearing. Video quality and audio quality as well. I'm interested in knowing if you can see and hear me okay. Specifically, how does this relate to Zoom? Is this better? Is this worse? Is it the same? Does it feel like you're in a more official event setting? Because I'm just talking to myself. I literally can only see the video and all of your freaking emojis on the side. So I don't actually know, there's no, it's one to many here. There's no back and forth communication. Unlike with Zoom, you can come off mute, you can talk, you can show your face. So it's kind of a challenge to see, I only actually saw 2-3 email responses from people saying they were going to stop by. So it's nice to see some names that I did not necessarily anticipate showing up. Right now I see we have 80% great, 20% good. So no bad. That's good. That's really good. Now, another thing I need to figure out is providing access to others. Well, I guess first I should try to share my own screen, because that's really, number one is being able to share screen. So I'm looking at some options while we're here. Customization. Anybody can send messages. Yes. Okay. Hello, Toady Lab. An interesting name. Question for the people in the audience. Did you have to give a name when you logged in, or were you already here? Like if you clicked on the link, if you were logged in on behalf of a Gmail account, you probably already had your name. If not, did you have to log in? Because that will probably dictate the authentication in Whova. And that, because it really, I really have 5 tests to do for YouTube. One is to make sure that this works and that you're all here. I think this has been sufficiently a go. The link worked. There's 6 of you in here now. I think that the poll works. The basic functionality is all here. 2 is being able to make sure that others have access to participate and to be speakers. I believe that is something that, you're all here. You're all listed on the participants. That might be something I have to do beforehand, where I need to literally assign access to people where they can have essentially the same abilities that I have, which is right now just streaming. Then there's sharing the screen. I haven't done really any research on this yet, so I haven't know if there is a way. There should be a way. That's one thing. Okay, so people needed a Google password. Okay. So you had to be logged into Google to even watch this, it sounds like. If you didn't, what that would be kind of what I'd like to know as well. Interesting. I can't get rid of there it is. It sounds like some people are already logged in. If you didn't, did anybody not have to log in, I should say? Could anybody just stroll in? Because that is going to be, I don't want to say it's a hindrance, because at the same time, like with Zoom, you need log into Zoom too. So it's not like that's not available. It's not like a feature that's available in Zoom that's not available here. So okay, Mary says yes. So that's good to know. I really wish I knew I had done a little bit more research here. Oh, interesting. So there's a streaming option, but I don't have access to it, so I'm not really sure what that means. I think that might mean like actually like playing a pre-recorded video, and I can't manage either. So interesting. All right. Yeah, if you use Chrome, Chantel, chances are you're already logged in. So this is the YouTube account for the graduate school. If you want to see the channel up in the right-hand corner, you click that and it'll take you over to the channel page. I put this week's, for those of you who are interested, first off, for all of you that are here, I recommend subscribing to our channel. So because you're all logged in via something on YouTube. So in the upper right corner, click the logo, click and go to the channel and click that subscribe button. We do need to accumulate some of these so that we start to add some authenticity and thought leadership to our account, to our brand. From there, you'll also get the alerts. I subscribed to my personal account, I think, to the graduate school account, and then I got an email that said when I went live. So it's cool, but the fact that you're all here is positive as well. Chantel's given subscribe to us on YouTube. That's great. Thank you, Chantel. I'm going to make sure that isn't everybody's talking points as well during the GRS to subscribe to us. I'm sure not many people will, but again, if we get 10% people subscribe, that's going to be 100 subscriptions. Yeah, it does take some getting used to, but also YouTube Live is pretty much the standard these days for live video. And for those of you who don't know, we're still going to use Zoom for the posters. I met with Sokol and Todd earlier this week. We're still going to do that. It's still going to work just like it did last year. If there are breakout rooms available in YouTube, it's not something that we can get to, and it's not something I really want to broach right now. We have enough other logistics to work on. So posters will remain through Zoom, and it's okay. Huva can take different video links from different platforms and implement them into the agenda. So it's perfectly fine if one goes from here over to Zoom and back. We'll just need to make sure to shut down the YouTube live recording before we start the Zoom, because then people could feasibly be watching two sessions at once. Okay, Chantel's saying she didn't have to log in. I should have looked to see who you were, who it said you were then when you weren't logged in. Like, are you guest? Are you somebody else? Or maybe you're incognito. I don't know. Okay, so this is all very helpful. I have some emoji options here, which is great. I can respond to the chat as well, which is kind of weird. I can just talk and respond. And I can, of course, share the stream. I did schedule this ahead of time, so that's a big plus, because what I'm going to do today or tomorrow is I'm going to schedule at least the test day, and I might schedule something for tomorrow as well. Like I started it like 2 or 3 minutes before it was supposed to start. But that's good. We can get all that taken care of ahead of time. What we might do last year, I don't know if, let me see who's here. Okay, so it's just me, Mary, Chantel, and Sokol. So my initial thought was to have different YouTube live links for each platform. I don't know. On the other hand, we can just do one YouTube live and run it from 9 until noon each day. That's kind of where I'm leaning right now. If anybody, that's going to be a point of discussion tomorrow in our meeting. The Zoom link, just using one Zoom link for that whole day was pretty much fine. But as I mentioned to Sokol and to Todd earlier this week, the issue is that we don't have really good analytics. We didn't actually know how many people were in each session because, like, all the judges, for example, had links directly to the Zoom room. So they would bypass Whova and go right to the Zoom. So that is, that's the downside. But at the same time, we didn't really need, it's not like that was stopping us from knowing our audience. We knew the audience, we knew the numbers. Honestly, the only thing that we couldn't tell and we kind of could tell based on just the sheer number of attendees in the room, is the fluctuations throughout the course of the day and of the week. Even now, I don't actually remember when we were the most popular. I think it was the very first session of the very first day, or the very first session of the second day. And I can go back to last year's event in Whova and I can see everything, all the analytics, but it's not actually accurate. I think it was about it would say okay, you have 70 people in this session right now. And I look on Zoom and there's 110. So that's the only downside to it. But we can discuss more tomorrow. I don't really, if that's the only positive is having better numbers, better ways to analyze, I don't really see the value in it because we will lose people if they have to exit one stream and go over to another or go back to the Whova app. Obviously, if this was Whova talking, Whova would want everything to have its own link because they want as much usage out of their platform as possible. Honestly, we don't need that much usage out of the platform. I am going to try to utilize the Icebreakers a little bit better in Whova. People just kind of naturally gravitated to that last year, and I'm going to try to push that a little bit more. And then Sokol, I think you're still here, and Mary, or whoever's here. I'm tentatively planning on Wednesday, March 2nd as the practice day. So we'll talk about it tomorrow when you all can talk, but just, if you can check your calendars between now and tomorrow. Again, Wednesday, March 2nd, I'm thinking for most of the day, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Because we have almost twice as many researchers, I'm thinking, I think one day is okay, but we may want to do 2 days. I don't know. Up for discussion for tomorrow, but that will be a discussion point because I want to schedule all of those, put the links into this presenters checklist that I'm just about done with. Those are the only things that I'm missing. And then we'll be ready to send that out with the final agenda lineups to all of our presenters on Friday afternoon. So, okay, it sounds like it works for most people. I'm going to send out the presenter checklist right after I'm done here, just to everybody. It's just like last year. I added one section on presentation tips to enhance your presentation. And the first thing I'm saying is your audience is a balance. You're going to have a pretty balanced audience between academics and essentially non-academics like me. And that you need to present in a way that will resonate with both of them. So, don't just focus all of your time on your methodologies and all of the math essentially that you did, but also think about the greater ramifications that your research has on, the population that you're working with and society as a whole. Mary, the Icebreakers, Whova has a bunch of built-in, I want to call it, they're just games. Can I add a background in live? I don't know. I'm going to have a look into that. Chantel, that's a good question. But Mary, Icebreakers, if you're registered, you could log in and see it for yourself. When you log in as an attendee, you see all the stuff, the agenda, the information. But then there's like I don't know where it is this year, but there was a little menu item that said that was a question to you that you could answer. You fill it out and it goes into this little community. And the question is, there's like a bunch of different questions. There were like 10 different icebreaker questions, and people would answer. People are randomly assigned them, and I think about 80 to 100 people responded to them, and then it becomes part of just the bigger chat room where you can see people and information about them, which is not the stuff they signed up with, but rather the answers to their icebreakers. And I think I had glanced at it like once beforehand last year, and then I realized as day one was starting, oh my God, look at all this activity. And it was because people had either logged in the morning of the first day and responded to their icebreakers, or they had logged in at some point over the past week, like a lot of researchers, and had responded to the icebreakers then. Yes, participants can start one as well. So it's interesting. Okay. So that's about all that I have for today. Again, I'll email this out. It sounds like the day of Wednesday, March 2nd is good. So I'm going to at least schedule the Zoom. I'll grab that link. I'll drop it in here. I'll create one for YouTube right now. That may have to change depending on the settings. Because again, the one thing I do not see how to do is to share my screen. And the other thing I don't know how to do is add other participants. I know I can add other participants. I think I have to do that before I launch the stream. I think that's the challenge. And if so, then that becomes another thing that I'm going to have to bake into the presenters checklist, in that I need to communicate with all of the platform presenters saying, okay, this is on YouTube Live. I need essentially your Google login, your Google information, so I can add you in here as a presenter for the day of. So these are the final logistics I need to iron out today. I'm going to probably go pick up my kid from school pretty soon because it's looking like Antarctica out there right now. But if you're in the office, I don't recommend sticking around for too much longer, because out here in the burbs, it is really, really bad. The weather is awful. Let's see. I'm going to go back to the participant list real quick. Yeah, it doesn't let me, I wish I could select a participant and let them hop on, but nope. All right. I am, in Arbor too. Yeah. My wife just got back from there. She had class this morning. So, all right. I'm going to wrap this up. And if you have if you see anything weird, if you have any issues, if you have any other feedback, bring it tomorrow to the meeting. I imagine this meeting will probably go on a little bit. I'm going to let this meeting tomorrow go in past the start of the PDS event meeting, because PDS, we don't have much to talk about. It's just IDP is next week. Conflict management is part 2 is after that. That's about it. So I'm going to probably allocate about 45 minutes for this tomorrow. And honestly, I may start allocating an hour to this, at least to get us through these last 3 weeks. So that's about all I have from now. And I appreciate everybody stopping by. And yes, we will do that, Mary, for sure. That's what we'll do. Use that time for. And otherwise, safe travels if you still need to get home. And I will see you tomorrow.